On today's holiday special episode of You Asked, when should you plug something into your soundbar instead of directly into your TV? How to turn off motion smoothing on your folks' TV? Cookies and milk or bourbon and cigars for Santa? And what happened to Disney Plus on the Chromecast with Google TV? Welcome back, everyone. I'm Caleb Dennison, and this is You Asked, the show where I answered questions that you asked in hopes that I can help you and others who have similar tech questions. If you've got a question you'd like to see answered on the show, please send it to youasked@digitaltrends.com, and I'll do my best to get it answered. Now, I had hoped to make this something of a holiday special, but I don't know if y'all missed the ask or if you just couldn't think of any tech questions commonly associated with the holidays, but I only got 3 emails with holiday special in the subject line. So we'll answer those, and for the rest, I guess the rest of the holiday vibes will just have to come from the fact that this is the time of year everyone else celebrates RGB, heck, even white LED subpixels, along with us knit nerds. And by the way, if you're not sticking around to the very, very end of my videos, you're missing out. I encourage you to do so and maybe, go check out some of the past few videos because we hide some fun stuff in there. Okay, let's start with the first holiday question. And I knew this one was coming, so I was more or less prepared. Corey writes, I'd love for you to address a quick guide for turning off motion blur or soap opera effect at your parents' house when you visit them for the holidays. I know TVs vary, but maybe a quick guide of where to look on the most common brands would be helpful for those that didn't see your older videos on the topic. Yes, for those of us who can't stand motion smoothing or soap opera effect, a quick guide to turning it off is definitely in order. Before I proceed, just a quick note, depending on how long your folks have been living with the motion smoothing on or whether they like it or not, you may have to turn it back on before you leave. Just be prepared for that. And I don't know, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that this is not a topic that you need to be discussing over your holiday dinner, maybe. Though possibly it could be better than arguing over politics, I don't know. Anyway, I think the best thing I can do is give you some broad guidance, and then for a deeper dive, you can go watch this video that Corey just mentioned that I made a while back. So on most TVs, you need to click the menu button or the little settings cog to get started. From there, if your TV pulls up a condensed menu like the most commonly accessed settings, find a way to get to the full suite of menu settings. From there, you're gonna wanna get into the picture menu. And from the picture menu, you may find something for motion right away, or you may have to dive in deeper and get into an advanced settings menu. But either way, now is the time to start looking for manufacturer-specific keywords, and here they are. For Sony, you're looking for motion flow. Cinemotion is made specifically for movies and rarely causes any trouble. Motion flow, however, is where soap opera effect hides on a Sony TV. Now, like most TVs, you can just turn it all the way off if you want, but you may also have the option to reduce sliders down to the low end of the spectrum so you can have a little de-judder and a little de-blur, but not so much that everything looks fake and flat. So keep that in mind as we explore the other TV brands too. In LG TVs, you're looking for true motion. Same deal. You can turn it all the way off or use the sliders to get it down to like 1 or 2. On Samsung TVs, what you're looking for is Auto Motion Plus. I believe you get sliders there as well. Now on TCL and Hisense Google TVs, I believe it's called Motion Enhancement and Motion Clearness. On TVs using the Roku TV platform, so this could be Toshiba, Element, Sharp, Hisense, and TCL, I believe you're looking for action smoothing and action clarity, 2 different settings to get turned off there. And on Vizio TVs, I believe it's called Clear Action, or at least it was the last time I checked. Vizio is about to launch a huge update to its whole home screen and operating system, and so that could change. If you end up getting a new interface, it may not be exactly that, but as you can tell, the same general terms are usually used. Motion, clarity, smoothing. Find that stuff under the picture menu and turn it off or set it at its lowest possible setting. Next email comes from Tom Swift. And thanks for getting into the spirit with me, Tom. I appreciate that, but for future reference, it's Caleb with a C. I get it with a K pretty often, but you know who used to really butcher my name spelling? Starbucks baristas. bless them. I think I have a photo of my favorite that we'll throw in here. Anyway, Tom writes, I am normally tech support for my less tech-savvy family. Over the years, the main issue is new gaming consoles. They would ask me to set up the internet connection and update them on Christmas Day, which I would advise anyone buying one to do this beforehand. Another thing is most people don't realize you need a subscription for them. Xbox Live, PS Plus accounts need to be set up as well. Maybe buy a voucher with the console and set that up beforehand. Also, so you can log in and play on the day with no hassle. In one case, my brother only had one controller for the console. Santa brought another one, but the kids wanted to play on Christmas Day, so maybe an extra controller would be handy. So there's some of my tips for any one of you if someone is buying a new console for Christmas in your family. So Tom, I agree. Folks, if you're getting a game console for someone, it's important to think about those subscriptions and extra controllers. Not saying you have to purchase them, but maybe coordinate with others to get that lined up. Like if I bought my nephew an Xbox, I'd probably tap my sister's shoulder and suggest they cover an extra controller and an Xbox Live Gold subscription card. From there, manage expectations. Those updates can take a long time, especially if you have slow Wi-Fi. So as soon as that thing is opened, or maybe you crack it open before you even wrap it up, maybe get it plugged in and update it while the rest of the festivities are going on. That way it will be ready to play sooner. See now? That's exactly what I had in mind. I love it. Okay, now let's do a non-holiday question. I think this one's gonna help a lot of folks. Wayne N writes, I have a Sony UBP X800 II and a Samsung Q800C soundbar and a Hisense U75H TV. I noticed there's an extra HDMI port on the back of the soundbar. Would you recommend to plug the 4K player into that HDMI soundbar port or just keep it plugged into the back of the TV? You know, this question about whether to plug something directly into a soundbar or not comes up a lot. I've given this a lot of thought, and here's my opinion. There are really only 3 reasons why you might want to plug something directly into a soundbar's HDMI port rather than going straight into a TV. One is your TV has more limited audio processing or pass-through capabilities compared to your soundbar. So to get the best sound, you would need to go directly into the soundbar. Number 2 would be you're out of HDMI inputs on your TV. And number 3 is the soundbar's HDMI input is so much easier to reach than one on the back of the TV, and whatever you're plugging in is temporary, like if somebody brought over their Nintendo Switch, or you're just hooking up a laptop to show off some photos or something. Now, the second and third reasons are pretty self-explanatory, but the first one might take some research or experimentation on your part. Some TVs from like 4 or 5 years ago and older might support Dolby Atmos from the built-in apps, but they won't pass Dolby Atmos audio through the HDMI ports. In a case like that, you'd want to connect your device directly to your soundbar to get the best sound. By and large though, I think connecting devices to the TV and using the TV as the device switcher is just the best move. It's far more convenient than having to tune into the HDMI ARC port, then switch the soundbar to output the video from its HDMI input. Also, depending on the soundbar you have, there could be video pass-through or support limitations. So in such a case, you'd have to decide whether it was more important to get the best video fidelity or the best audio fidelity. Thankfully, not many of you out there will have to make that choice, but it could happen if the TV won't pass the best audio signal through and your soundbar or receiver won't pass the best video signal through. Our last holiday-themed question comes from Mike, who writes, Hello, Caleb's assistant. I think some attention to the ancillary issues of buying a new TV should be addressed. More of your best budget picks, best universal remotes, most common mistakes made hooking up new TVs and audio systems, comparisons between lower budget soundbars. Many of us dream about choosing a Dragon over the Sonos. Should we leave cookies and milk or bourbon and cigars out for Santa? Well, Mike, thanks for your email. In fact, I do not have an assistant. It was I who found your email, read it, and am now replying. So guess what I asked Santa for this year? As for the rest of your email, those are mostly suggestions, which I am immensely thankful for. That's a great gift, thank you. I will definitely get into that stuff in the new year after CES. And as for your one question, should we leave cookies and milk or bourbon and cigars out for Santa? Yes. The answer to your question is just yes. Santa likes and needs all of those things. And now for one I've been looking forward to talking about especially because I've talked a fair bit about how much a fan I am of the Chromecast with Google TV. Roddy writes, my question is about Chromecast with Google TV, really Chromecast in general, as well as Disney Plus and Dolby Atmos. Long story short, my whole house uses Chromecast with Google TV. A few weeks ago, I lost Atmos for Disney Plus, but have it for other apps. Are you seeing this same thing happen? If so, do you think this means that Chromecast with Google TV is coming to an end? I mean, it is pretty basic and hasn't had an upgraded model ever, but I really like it. I read on Reddit that others were having the same problem, and Disney Plus reps said they were not going to support Atmos on Chromecast with Google TV. What are your thoughts on the future of this device? Well, first off, Roddy, thanks for bringing this to my attention. I hadn't heard about this yet, but I am all over it now. Now, I don't have official word from PR and marketing folks from Disney Plus yet, but I am reaching out to get some official answers. So keep watching You Asked, because it is here that I will deliver the official information. Still, I have some helpful stuff to say on this topic for now. First off, I went and grabbed my Chromecast with Google TV out of my backpack because, as y'all know, it's my little travel buddy. Never leave home without it. And I plugged it into the Sony A95L, which I gotta say is a real inception situation because it's Google TV on a Google TV, and the Sony remote controls the Chromecast. So it's really easy to lose track of which is the Chromecast and which is the TV itself. I had to double check a few times. So what you see right here is the Chromecast running Google TV on the Sony. We open up Disney Plus, and I'll just pull up a Marvel movie because almost all of them are in Atmos, and sure enough, we can see at the top here that Dolby Atmos isn't listed. And if I play the title, the Samsung Q990C doesn't tell me that it's going to Atmos mode. That's a bummer. So the issue is indeed confirmed. Double checking this is not true for all of Disney Plus. Here's the built-in app on the Sony TV. Open up the same title, and there's the Atmos. So it's a Disney Plus on the Chromecast with Google TV issue. Why? Well, you floated the idea that perhaps it's because the Chromecast with Google TV is getting sunset. And I wouldn't put it past Google to do that. It doesn't have the best track record with video devices, but I just don't think that's it. I think this is a technical issue between Disney Plus and the Chromecast hardware itself, because there's a workaround I'm going to show you that basically all it does is sidestep the Chromecast as the recognized device. So I think Disney will eventually fix this. I was worried that this might be part of a move toward implementing DTS as a standard audio format, but the more I thought about that, the more I realized that ditching Dolby Atmos would be one of the dumbest moves ever. Also, that would happen all at once if it was going to happen at all, not just on one device. So that workaround is pretty simple. Grab your phone or tablet, and if you don't already have the Disney Plus app on it, get it. Log in, find the title you want, and then just cast it to the Chromecast. I'll do that here with the same title, and there we go. The title is now playing on the Chromecast, and we are getting Dolby Atmos. Annoying? Sure, but at least it isn't impossible to get Atmos audio from Disney Plus through your Chromecast with Google TV. That's it for this week's episode, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Please do me a solid, slap a like on this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and drop me a comment. Reading your comments will keep me warm over the holiday weekend. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see y'all next week. I guess the rest of the holiday...